Let's talk about what do you need to become a founder, what traits you need. We've already covered the motivations. What other types of personality traits that you might need? In the book 0 to 1, Peter Thiel talks about the founder's paradox. And he says there are certain traits that objectively you might consider unhealthy, dangerous, even extreme, but that are necessary in founders if you want to be effective.
Yeah.
So you need to have you need to desensitize yourself to any form of risk taking, right? Or the fear that comes with it.
Yeah.
You need to be obsessed with your work. You need to have some form of mania with it, right? You need to be manic about it. And then even interestingly, Walter Isaacson said this about Elon Musk and Jobs in his biographies, where he said both of them lacked empathy of a certain kind. And that's important for them to be effective, to make the decisions they have to make, but that also makes them not the ideal managers or bosses. Right?
Sure.
Do you think there's this conflict at play that in order to be an effective founder, you need to have these personality traits that otherwise might be considered extreme, but that's the only way you can push past this hard path that's in front of you?
Yeah, I really like this question, Shalaj, because it presupposes that there is a certain kind of founder, that there is a certain kind of way to be a founder, right? Like the lacking of empathy, the directness, the unflinching obsession with the problem statement that you're trying to solve for. And it might be true in many cases, but I don't think that's the only requisite or prerequisite to becoming a founder. I think obsession has to be a prerequisite for what a person is doing. But I don't think that if you're naturally not a person that is abrasive, if you're naturally not a person that is trying to achieve something by putting someone down like a Jobs or a Musk or anybody else, there's no way that it's going to feel genuine to your team. You have to be absolutely genuine to your team. Otherwise, no one's going to be following you, right? And I think a team is the absolute most crucial part of building an enterprise, building a company, building a startup, whatever it is that you're building. And if you can't convince them to follow and go into battle with you every single day, then you're a poor leader. I think that people like Jobs, people like Elon Musk have a natural tendency to be that way. And that's why it felt genuine for the people that eventually followed them into the depths or whatever it is. Now, if I went in and I was trying to be abrasive to my team every single day, it would feel unnatural. And then I would just be rubbing people the wrong way. And then they will leave the team and, go on and do whatever else that they're doing. But I do think that your problem statement, your goal that you want to accomplish has to be absolutely superior and on top of everything. Right? So whatever it takes you to get there within the confines of the kind of person that you are. So my motivation style is very different, right? I like encouraging people. I like working with people. I like, getting to people's, I guess, best by almost coaching and being side by side in the trenches and then taking them along with me. But I've seen other people in which a very effective form is being extremely direct and telling them straight up what works and what doesn't for them. So I think there are many ways to do this. I don't think there's a cookie cutter answer to this. And I don't think people should mold themselves simply because Elon Musk and Steve Jobs had done it previously. I think you can be a great leader in many different ways.
I think it's a fascinating exploration into psychology. There's this statement, power corrupts, absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's an open question. How far will you make it in a leadership position if you have a lot of empathy? And if you read of like biographies of leaders as well, it feels like you need to have decoupled yourself from this human within you, because you'll never be able to make decisions that are, let's say, of national interest if you're a president, for example, or in the interest of a company if you're a CEO. If you're constantly thinking about the humans that will get affected along the way, it feels, and this is a dangerous thought experiment in itself. I'm not promoting the idea of treating your employees as, well, not thinking about their well-being. But if you are constantly overwhelmed by how it's going to affect a particular employee, I don't think you'll ever be able to build a company as well. This is one of the arguments a lot of people bring up.
Yeah, I agree with you to a certain extent, right? But if you are building a team of incredible people who are sacrificing their existing incredible opportunities, because again, if you're trying to build the best team, you're recruiting the best people, right? If I am trying to convince them that my problem statement or my company is the best thing that they should be working on, and the opportunity cost of it is worth taking to come and join me, I need to reciprocate something to them so that they feel that I care also, right? That their sacrifice is not going to waste, because they could pack up and head back to whatever incredible thing that they're doing tomorrow itself. So for me, I think empathy has to show itself in multiple ways. Maybe it's a pat on the back. Maybe it's appreciation. Maybe it's putting them on the IP that you're building, right? It's not just Anurag has invented the device that he's built, but that it's Anurag and Arvind from his team that has built it. Put them on, show appreciation in ways that recognize the opportunity cost that they've taken to come and join the ship that you're sailing. And so for me, I believe in many ways that empathy is extremely important, because realizing how and when your team gets motivated to do a certain thing is crucial. And actually Steve Jobs is a master at that, right? It's not that he got everything his way by being abrasive. He got everything his way by realizing how to get people to be motivated to work on something, and when to push the buttons in order to get them to do that extra little bit to get them over the finish line. So the reality distortion field that is usually talked about successful leaders, it works in many ways, but it grounds itself in realizing how people are eventually motivated and how they are driven. And without that realization, I really don't think nothing will happen. And that's why I would challenge somebody that says that these leaders are not empathetic, because they actually understand everything very deeply and are deciding what to do basis on that understanding.
It's a fine line to walk, and you also hear the same with directors of movies as well. When they step back, when they push people, when they get really abrasive on set as well. I think it's fascinating.